Oh. What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, we're out here at Reedy Creek Park. Before we get into today's video, I can show you guys this T-bone from Quest AT. Just want to let you guys know we did drop the new mantas at bergsdiscsports.com. You can use code ICE10 to save 10% on your order. If you don't want to get one of our big bags, this is a much smaller option. It's also made of mostly recycled materials. All right, guys, I'm just going to show you quickly what we're working with here today. We've got the T-bone from Quest AT. This disc features an 8-speed, a 10 glide, -1 turn, and a 1 fade. After a few throws, it seems a lot less glidey and a lot more stable than originally advertised. But the most unique feature on this disc is going to be it has these dimples on the bottom, just like you would see on like a golf ball. So very dimpled bottom, but the top feels very similar to me to like an eagle or a firebird. But then it has this very strange dimpled bottom. I'm just covering up the phone number on the disc, but hopefully you guys can see the dimples there. But overall, it actually feels quite good in the hand, especially on a forehand grip. This is going to be a very straight flyer on the flick, and it seems to be pretty stable on the backhand, to be totally honest. So I'm excited to see the 10 glide and see if we can get this thing to fly. Plastic feels pretty good. It feels like a mixture of DX and CE plastic. Feels like old Innova Champion Edition plastic mixed with like DX plastic. So it feels good. Let's see how it flies. Dude, it is so stable. I was searching pretty far and wide to get one of these things. Once I saw it had a 10 glide, I knew I had to try one. It's a pretty lofty claim. And first impression is it's definitely not a 10 glide. It doesn't have really seemingly any easy turn to it. I think I'm going to really have to rip this thing like full power to get any noticeable amounts of turn out of the disc. What do you think?
That's crazy.
Feels gross.
Yeah, it feels nasty.
You give it a throw. No pressure. It is stable. Do not backhand it into the water. It's like a brand new Champ Eagle. Something like that.
Okay.
Like stable.
It's like coming off on my hand.
No pressure. Oh, you got a really nice flight out of it. Oh, good shot. All right, so he put the T-bone on a little Annie, and it actually stayed turned over. So I think I just need to trust it. Maybe she'll actually turn. Pretty stable. I think that guy's crazy arm speed. It's funny, that guy, he was holding the T-bone in his hand. He's like, oh, the material of the disc is coming off of my fingers. And a lot of these really old discs, they start to leak oil. Like if you leave like an old Champion Edition Innova disc out in the sun, it'll have this weird beeswaxy feel, and the residue will actually come off on your fingers. And that pretty much means this disc is ready to start melting away, degrading. And there's a chance that it explodes if I hit a tree hard enough today. All right, this is the first tee pad that hasn't been soaking wet. So Quest AT was one of those companies that always had just really unique and new concepts when it came to golf discs. And I would like to see more companies, taking risks and doing things, like the golf ball dimples that are unique from what the competition is doing. Because right now, there are so many brands doing so many things that are just the same as all the big players. It's like every company has a Destroyer, every company has a Wraith, every company has, the AVR, the Dagger. All the staples are there. So there's not really anyone doing anything super unique, except for maybe like Doomsday Discs has some very unique molds. Obviously, Castoplast has the Berg, and then there's obviously a few others out there. But I'd love to see a new company that's sort of following in the Quest footsteps, taking risks and doing new innovative things. All right, so I'm going to tee off from right here. It's a blind shot. The basket is right there. Oh, that went way too straight. All right, I got to figure this thing out. I was expecting to throw it sort of soft and let it just fade. But I threw it soft and it just went straight the whole way. So maybe it's one of those discs that gets more overstable the harder you throw it. But we'll have to keep chucking it and see how we go. They could have just made an eagle clone and called it a day, but they're like, you know what, we're gonna make an eagle and then we're gonna chuck dimples on it, and that's the T-bone. So they could have just made, you know, an eagle clone and called it a day, but they chose to chuck the dimples on it and make the T-bone, which I have a ton of respect for. I think that's extremely cool. It doesn't flip up at all. Maybe you have to force it over to get it to stay on turn. Still no turn. But a good reliable fade. Sure. How's it feel? What do you think?
Well, we'll see when it lights.
Oh yeah. What do you think? A thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, doing the same thing.
I think the T-bone flew better than that.
Yeah, it looked like T-bone glue. T-bone flew better than that.
All right, thumbs up. All right, we had to stop at the open field here so I can really just get a couple full power pumps. Do full power backhand, full power forehand. Oh, 10 glide, baby. There she is. So to be perfectly honest about the Quest T-bone, it just doesn't glide enough to have a 10 glide. Threw that into a pretty stiff headwind, and it needs to have more turn to be considered a 10 glide. I feel like most discs that I would consider glidey have a relative amount of dome and a relative amount of understability. But I do think it was a very clever sales tactic for Quest to advertise it as a 10 glide, and I'm sure they sold a crap ton of them because of it. But I think the myth is officially busted that the T-bone has never been and will never be a 10 glide, at least for me. I'm gonna give the forehand a go back the other way, see if we can get a little more carry out of it. It's just stable, very stable. If you force it on turn, it stays turned. But if it finds any amount of hyzer, it just stays on hyzer. I'm just making a video about that T-bone there. It's just a really weird old disc. What do you think? How's it feel?
It's very flexible, actually, and it's like a golf. Is that like a golf ball engineering where it's like meant for airflow? That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got some.
It's got some stability. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down on the T-bone.
It's a little different. It definitely came out of the hand with a little too much hyzer, but I think that was more B than anything.
Okay.
But I could definitely see it. It's not a flippy disc.
No,
sure.
No, not at all.
I do like it. Like I could definitely see that being a good utility disc.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right.
The dimples.
Yeah, we got the T-bone from Quest AT.
Is it a little flippy or straight?
Pretty stable.
Pretty stable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'll try it on the flick then.
Welcome to the channel.
Awesome.
Watch it later.
That's too funny. See, she's stable.
Yeah, she's stable. Damn, I'll go get it. You want me to go get it?
No, you're okay. I've been letting a ton of different people throw it.
Nice.
What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'd give it a thumbs up. Probably like a Firebirdish stability, you know what I mean?
And what was your name?
Josh.
Thanks for watching the channel, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. What was your guys' names?
Sam.
Nice to meet you, boys. I'm Dylan. Thanks for watching the channel. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Good content.
Oh, what a shot, brother.
No. Too straight. All right, it's been a good journey so far with the old T-bone here. I just threw hole 18. I'm gonna hang around hole 1 for a second, see if I can't get 1 or 2 more victims to throw it, just so you guys can, you know, get the full review, not just from me. But the first guy who threw it had an absolute cannon, turned it over. Every single other person got no turn out of it. So I think that first guy was just an anomaly. He was absolutely huge. And then everybody else with normal arm speed can't get any turn or glide out of this bad boy. What's your name?
Tyler.
That's the Quest AT T-bone. What are your first thoughts? It's like 20 years old.
It feels very weird. I don't want to say bad, but it feels weird. The ridges are interesting.
Yeah, it's got those golf dimples on it.
Yeah, golf dimples. That's a great way to explain that.
It's pretty stable, so if you're gonna go back, like you can throw it pretty darn hard.
Is it what type of? Is it a driver?
Yeah, it's like a fairway driver, like a eagle. Oh. Oh. Fair. That's a fairway hit. All right, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'll give thumbs up, actually.
You like the T-bone?
That thing came straight out. I definitely lifted up, but it flew straight and it felt good coming out. So I'll say that.
So it's discontinued. Do you think they should bring it back?
I would. I'd put that in my bag. To be honest. any disc that comes out of my hand straight, I'm putting it in my bag.
All right, thanks for playing. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. All right,
Cheers.
thank you. Hey guys, my last video clip with my outro got corrupted. I'm not sure what happened there. So anyway, I hope you guys like this kind of video. Let me know if you like me including random players that I bump into on the course. I thought that was a really fun way for you guys to get like the full picture of what it's like throwing the disc. Obviously, it's very overstable for most of the people throwing it. Anyway, go check out the Manta over at bergsdiscsports.com. You guys are watching Iceberg TV, and take care.